Today is the 14th of May, 2010. We are at the Maplewood Manor in Ballston Spa, New York. My name is Wayne Clarke. I'm at the New York State Military Museum and Veterans Research Center in Saratoga Springs, New York. Sir, for the record, would you please state your full name and your date and place of birth, please?
Dave Regis, 5/21/34,
And where were you born?
Hudson Falls, New York.
Did you attend school in Hudson Falls?
No, I went to school here in Ballston Spa. I graduated from Ballston Spa High School,
What year did you graduate?
1952.
And you went to work right after graduation for a little while before you
Yeah.
went into service?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And when did you go into the service?
About 1953,
Did you enlist or were you drafted?
I was drafted.
And where did they send you for your basic training?
Fort Dix, New Jersey.
Was that your first time away from home?
No,
Okay. What was basic training like?
it was fine in Fort Dix. It wasn't bad.
Now, do you recall what time of year that was?
Summer.
It was in the summer. Once you graduated from basic training, did you go on to any advanced training?
Went to Fort Smith, Arkansas, or Camp Chaffee for artillery.
And how long did that school last for?
That was FTC school, Fire Direction Control.
Okay.
That was like 16 weeks or something like that.
Well, that was a pretty long school then. Was it difficult training?
That was pretty tough.
Mm-hmm. Once you graduated from that school, were you sent right over to Germany, or did you serve
Yeah.
some time stateside?
I went to Germany in the winter of 1953, about
How,
across the North Atlantic in a Liberty ship.
okay. What was that like? Did you get seasick?
Very rough
Uh-huh.
weather. The North Atlantic is tough in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
The waves are breaking right over the bow of the ship, and that bow was about 40 feet out of the water.
Wow. Did you get seasick at all?
No,
Mhm.
no seasickness. There was a lot of it on the ship.
Uh-huh. Whereabouts did you land?
Hamburg, Germany. First we landed in Britain.
Uh-huh.
That
Now,
was our first stop. Britain was, and then we went from there to cross the English Channel into Hamburg.
okay. And once you got to Germany, where did they send you?
Right to a place called Babenhausen. It's a very small little town in Germany,
Uh-huh.
about the size of Ballston Spa here.
And what kind of unit did they send you to? Was it artillery?
Yeah, 18 field artillery. There was a 155 guns mounted on M40 tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Great big long toms. They call them long toms. They'll shoot a projectile 20 miles.
Mm-hmm. Was your job still in fire control?
At that outfit it was, yeah.
Uh-huh.
18 field artillery.
Did you stay with that unit, or did you get transferred to another one?
I got transferred to Darmstadt, Germany, from Babenhausen to Darmstadt,
Uh-huh.
which is a big city, is a bigger city in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty well demolished from World War II. Nothing but bricks lying all around.
Oh, so there was still a lot of cleanup and construction being done?
Yeah, it was pretty beat up, that town.
Mm-hmm.
Still had trolley cars working in it.
Uh-huh. Now, what was your living quarters like? Were you in World War II German barracks?
Yes. In Darmstadt, they were excellent barracks.
Mm-hmm.
Great big old buildings. Very nice, though.
Uh-huh. Were you in like an open bay barrack, or did you have your own room?
An open room like this
Uh-huh.
with about 5 guys in it.
Okay. And how did everybody get along?
Good. We had
Mm-hmm.
good group.
Mm-hmm. Did you spend much time out in the field? A lot of field
A lot of time.
exercises?
A lot of time I was, when I switched from Babenhausen to Darmstadt, they sent me to a refresher course in Karlsruhe, Germany,
Mm-hmm.
in surveying, because I had an IQ that qualified me for a survey school.
Oh. So you learned to be a surveyor?
Yeah, which it was a refresher course though.
Yeah.
It was for guys that already had about 15 weeks of training in the States.
Oh, okay.
And I just went in there green.
Were you
Absolutely nothing.
were you able to complete the school?
Yeah, I got through it.
Uh-huh.
I had a fairly quick study.
Uh-huh. And once you finished that schooling, you went back to your unit? Or did they send you to a different unit?
I went back to that unit.
Mm-hmm. And did they use you as a surveyor?
Yes, we did surveying. We did a lot of surveying.
Okay.
I was over there for 3 years, so we surveyed a lot of Germany
Mm-hmm.
for future sites.
It sounds like it must have been pretty interesting work.
If there was another war, if another war came up, we'd have been all set up.
Uh-huh.
Because it's hard to survey during wartime.
Yes.
You're right out in the open all the time.
Mm-hmm. How were you treated by the civilian populace?
Excellent. Excellent. Got along very good.
Mm-hmm. When you were out surveying in different places, was it like a day trip where you were out there for the day and then you went back to your barracks, or did you spend the night in different towns or areas?
We go to different areas and
Uh-huh.
do what we ordered to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd have to survey a certain area. We'd pick up a trig marker way up on a hillside like in a forest, like out there.
Uh-huh.
And we had some German information on where to start. Trig markers are known positions,
Mm-hmm.
known coordinates. They were done by the Germans way before we got over there, and so a trig marker could have been beautiful 10 years ago out in a field or something, and then
Uh-huh.
10 years later, a big tree like 2 foot wide would be sitting right next to it, right in the way, so you couldn't do anything with it. So you had to take off from there and a known position.
Mm-hmm.
and shoot with your transit from there. And you'd have to, we would have to measure about every 30 meters. We surveyed 30 meters at a time.
Uh-huh.
Something like they did the United States back when they set up the states.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way they did the United States, 30 meters at a time.
Really?
I just saw that on television the other day. I thought that was quite interesting. They were explaining why all the states out west were square, and why the states in the eastern part of the United States are all different shapes. It's basically because of waterways. The waterways are the boundaries. The lakes and the rivers are mostly make up the boundaries of different states. And that's why they're not square like, they're not rectangles like out in the west.
Right. Okay. Now, when you were in Germany in 53, was the Korean War over at that point?
I don't think so.
Were there any rumors? Were there any rumors floating around that your unit might be sent to Korea?
No.
No?
I don't recall that. My memory's kind of foggy in that area.
Okay.
Because of the stroke I had.
Okay. Now, while you were stationed in Germany, did you do any traveling on your time off to France or?
I went to Denmark.
Oh, did you?
And I went to Garmisch-Partenkirchen, which is where the Olympics were at one time. It's a place like Lake Placid.
Right.
In the German Alps.
Did you do any skiing?
Yeah, I went up on the highest mountain in Germany and skied.
Had you been a skier?
No, I can't ski worth a hoop. Went up that mountain in what they call a car train. It goes up on a gear. Very steep.
Yep.
Up at the top of that mountain is a hotel, a huge hotel. It's beautiful. How they got all that material up there is amazing. It's just how they did it. I don't know. It was a great experience. So.
Now, what was your typical workday like?
We'd get up and have to fall out for
formation.
Yeah, for head count.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be it. If we didn't have any KP duties or guard duty or any of that stuff, we would go out surveying.
Uh-huh.
We'd take a day trip out, maybe go to another area completely.
Mm-hmm.
I used to drive a 3/4 ton truck.
Uh-huh.
I was the driver in my section. My MOS was surveying, but I wouldn't even be, it wouldn't be any good now.
Uh-huh.
Because they got GPS now.
Oh, I see, yeah.
You just pull a thing out of your pocket, you can get the coordinates are right where you are. Right on the gadget you pulled out of your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
A GPS. So that eliminated my job in the Army.
Mm-hmm. Now, you stayed in Germany for how long?
3 years.
3 years. Did you enjoy your time in Germany?
Yeah, it was very good.
Did you go back to the States at all on leave during that period?
No. Never enough time.
Uh-huh.
That's 3,000-mile trip across that ocean.
Yeah.
Going from here to there took 14 days
Mm-hmm.
aboard ship. That was the longest 14 days I ever spent.
Yeah. Now, you said you got along good with the civilian population?
Oh yeah, me and another guy in my section, in the same room I was in the
Yeah.
barracks, we found a bar downtown Darmstadt
Yeah.
that wasn't used much by GIs. It was strictly German civilians, and
Uh-huh.
so we got along good with the German people.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you went out on pass in Germany, you had to dress up, because Germans always wear a shirt and tie when they go out in the evening. So we had to dress just like they do.
Did you ever wear your military uniform out?
No.
Always civilian clothes?
Yeah. I had a lot of civilian clothes. A guy in my room, the same room I was in, he had all kinds of suits and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
he let me use them.
Mm-hmm.
So I was dressed to the nines all the time.
Now, you were a PFC,
Yeah.
and was that the highest rank you attained over there?
Yeah.
What kind of money did you make as a PFC?
$110. That included overseas pay.
Mm-hmm. Now, was that enough to get you through the month?
Barely.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't do much of anything.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to Denmark, I had to borrow $20 from a guy
Mm-hmm.
to make ends meet.
Okay. Now, when you left Germany in 1956, was it?
Mm-hmm.
That was the end of your tour. Did you consider re-enlisting in the Army at all?
No way.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And how did you get back to the States? By ship or by plane?
By ship. And coming back, I did a no-no. They asked for volunteers on the ship,
Yeah.
and I raised my hand up, which is a no-no in the service. You don't volunteer for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, having no idea what I was volunteering for, I ended up as a butcher's helper on the ship. And that was my father's trade,
Uh-huh.
a butcher. So I wasn't a stranger to that type of work. It happened to be a racket on the ship.
Yeah.
We had white uniforms that we wore, and it allowed us any place on the ship. We ate with the crew,
Yeah.
sat down in like a regular restaurant with a menu and everything.
Really? So it turned out to be a pretty good deal, huh?
Oh, it was super. Yeah. We had all the ice cream we wanted to eat, all the apples and oranges and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We could help ourselves. And of course, eating with the crew, we had the best stuff
Uh-huh.
to eat. You know, it was just like a restaurant. Just order off the menu.
Wow. So once the ship hit the States, whereabouts did you land?
New York.
New York? And where did they discharge you from?
Camp Kilmer.
In New Jersey?
Yeah, New Jersey.
And where did you go next? Did you head back home?
I had a good friend that when I was drafted, had moved to Yonkers. He got out in basic training. He had knee problems and got out of physical discharge.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't spend 3 years in the Army like I did.
Uh-huh. So you went and saw him?
In Yonkers, yeah. I hopped on a subway and met him. He met me at the last stop on the subway.
Hmm.
Picked me up with his car in Yonkers, New York.
How much time did you spend down there?
About 7 years.
Oh.
I moved right in with him. He was there, living there with his mom and dad.
Yeah.
They were all from Ballston Spa here.
Oh. Okay. So you went to work down there?
Yeah, I went to work the same place he worked, in a gas station.
Yeah.
Then I went to work for McKesson and Robbins warehouse, wholesale, pharmaceutical.
Yeah. Now, whereabouts was McKesson and Robbins?
Right in Yonkers.
In Yonkers?
They serviced the whole area,
Yeah.
which was quite large.
Yeah. And I understand that they had one in Albany, too. A large warehouse.
McKesson and Robbins, yeah, they
Yeah.
could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, several of them.
Yeah. Okay, so you stayed down in Yonkers for 7 years. And where did you go from there?
I came back here.
And who did you work for here?
Then I tried the appliance business on my own.
Yeah.
Finally went up, got a job up in South Glens Falls
Mm-hmm.
with a small outfit. And turned that into a pretty decent job. It started out at minimum wage. And by doing the on-the-job training program through the veterans,
Yeah.
I did all the paperwork, and my boss there went along with it. So I made so much an hour, and then as I learned the job better, I got automatic increases in pay,
Mm-hmm.
and they picked it up. You know, the OJT, the
Yeah.
on-job training, they picked up the increases. So we finally got the week's pay up to fairly decent wage.
Mm-hmm.
Started out real low.
Okay. And then eventually you went to work for Saratoga County?
Yeah. I worked there until I got a certificate of certified General Electric appliance repairman.
Mm-hmm.
That was all white goods that GE makes.
Mm-hmm.
Everything they make, except televisions. We didn't touch television.
Mm-hmm.
Just refrigerators and washers, dryers, hot water heaters, garbage disposals,
Mm-hmm.
dishwashers, things like that, ranges, things like that.
And then you ended up going to work for the county, Saratoga County?
No, I got married and moved back here to Ballston,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a job down in Albany, a place called Point of Woods. It was a condominium with 134 units. That's 134 homes.
Mm-hmm.
And each home had its own yard. Each unit had its own yard, and my responsibility was outside maintenance on all this place.
Okay.
Mowing all the lawn, 7 acres of lawn. Had to keep it like a golf course.
Mm-hmm.
And I was responsible for a lot of stuff there. Before it ended up, they had me doing just about everything.
Mm-hmm.
Dog warden and you name it, I had to do it.
Mm-hmm. But you did end up retiring from the county, Saratoga County?
Oh yeah, I retired, what they call
Okay.
I can't remember what they call it.
All right. And you became active in the VFW?
Oh yeah, 1969. 2 years I was commander of this VFW here in Ballston Spa.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of work to be done
Mm-hmm.
to finish that. What had been started, it already had been started, the building was built. The parking lot was, in the spring, was nothing but mud. When the frost went out of the ground, it would be in this quagmire.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I was there 2-3 years, we had made enough money to, by putting on parties and wedding receptions and things like that, we made enough money to build a parking lot,
Mm-hmm.
have it all blacked out, and proper drainage put in and stuff like that.
Did you join the Legion at all, or just the VFW?
No, I wasn't qualified for the Legion.
Okay. And are you still in the VFW?
Yeah, I'm a life member.
Okay. All right. And how do you think your time in the service changed or affected your life?
I think it was good.
Mm-hmm.
A good experience.
Have you stayed in contact with any of the guys you were with in the service? What about the fellow down in Yonkers? Is he still living?
No, he passed away since I've been
Okay. All right. Anything else you'd like to say in closing?
there. Not that I can think of.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your interview.
Thank you for interviewing.